The DEA has just seized 57 million lethal drug doses across America, saving countless lives in a historic, massive federal sweep.
57 million lethal drug doses have just been wiped off the streets in less than 2 months. You heard that right? A breathtaking war is taking place right in the heart of America in early 2026. Phase 2 of the Fentanyl-Free America campaign has dealt thunderous blows to transnational criminal empires, saving tens of millions of lives by a hair's breadth. What shocking numbers are hiding behind this historic victory? And is the line between life and death really that fragile? Let's decode it with us right now. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your perspective to collectively spread this community protection message. The year 2026 has opened with brilliant and incredibly powerful rays of hope for millions of families across the Star-Spangled Banner nation as the United States Drug Enforcement Administration officially implemented extremely drastic steps. Phase 2 of the campaign, named Fentanyl-Free America, has dealt thunderous blows to transnational illicit substance trafficking networks. These tireless efforts are step-by-step materializing the commitment to protect the peace of the entire community. This deeply humanitarian campaign was initiated with a crystal-clear focus of targeting law enforcement right at the very roots of the most notorious criminal networks today. The authorities continually strive to ensure that registered entities operate within a closed and completely transparent distribution system. Along with that, raising public awareness is considered the golden key to minimizing both the supply and demand for these dangerous illicit substances. The safety of every neighborhood does not only depend on law enforcement officers, but also requires the joint contribution of every individual in the entire society. Educating the younger generation to fully understand the incalculable harm of toxic chemicals is an urgent and vital mission for the development of the nation. Large-scale law enforcement campaigns like this are exactly the solid shield protecting the future young shoots of the country from storms. The journey to bring peace to the people always demands the silent sacrifices and extraordinary courage of those who wear the uniform to protect the law. They have had to face countless lurking dangers every single day to bring good nights of sleep to millions of families across all regions of the country. Their resounding victories are not just dry statistics, but also stories saturated with human compassion and a noble spirit of responsibility. Thoroughly understanding the profound pain that victimized families have to endure has added immense strength to the authorities in this arduous battle. Every single criminal ring dismantled means thousands of sorrowful tears are prevented in time before tragedy strikes. We need to cherish and acknowledge these massive contributions in order to build a great block of national unity in the mission of protecting social order and safety. If you find these messages of protecting community health and safety truly meaningful, please hit like and subscribe to the channel so we can spread these positive life values to everyone together. In just an incredibly brief period of time, from the beginning of January to the middle of February of the year 2026, the authorities have achieved astounding results that made the whole world pay attention. More than 4.7 million pills containing the lethal substance fentanyl and nearly 1,086 kilograms of fentanyl powder were seized in a timely and rapid manner. This colossal amount of physical evidence is the clearest testament to the ironclad determination of those who maintain law and order. Let's calm our minds together and deeply reflect upon the true meaning hidden behind those giant statistics that seem so lifeless. The seizure of the aforementioned massive amount of chemicals is equivalent to eliminating more than 57 million lethal doses of drugs from the streets and crowded residential areas. This equates to the fact that tens of millions of lives have been spectacularly saved, and millions of families have luckily avoided the deeply agonizing and painful scenes of separation and death. Every toxic dose confiscated is exactly a ray of hope lit up in the fight against the dark forces always lurking to steal human lives. The loss of a single individual is not only the ultimate pain for one family, but also a bleeding wound for the entire social system that we are painstakingly cultivating. Preventing this deadly supply source from its very roots is an action carrying a noble and extremely urgent humanitarian meaning in the current context. Faced with these immense efforts and these hauntingly massive numbers, what are your thoughts on the core responsibility of every individual in protecting the peace of the very neighborhood where they and their loved ones live every day? However, the battle to protect the sacred safety of the community does not merely stop at dealing with a single illicit substance ravaging the black market. Transnational criminal organizations today operate in an incredibly sophisticated, cunning, and diverse manner with countless different toxic chemicals to maximize their illicit profit sources. They stop at no ruthless tactics to sow death and despair among honest and gullible citizens. These heartless criminals have quietly established large-scale secret laboratories equipped with modern pill presses and chemical precursors for industrial-level production. Their sole objective is to profit right off the health and lives of the people without caring in the slightest about the catastrophic consequences left for society. This inhumane behavior must be strongly condemned and truly and rightfully punished by the most severe sentences of the current law. This incredibly brutal truth is most clearly and vividly reflected through the results of the historic sweeping operation that just took place on a federal-wide scale. Law enforcement personnel bravely faced head-on with the encirclement of danger to seize an additional over 147,000 pounds of pure cocaine. This is a staggering number demonstrating the alarming scale of gang operations and also showing the outstanding achievement of the entire campaign to protect the people. Not just stopping at traditional drugs, the peril from crystal meth was also dealt a fatal blow when nearly 21,000 pounds of powder and more than 26 million meth pills were thoroughly confiscated. Courageous authorities also discovered and seized thousands of pounds of deadly heroin, along with tens of thousands of pounds of illegal floating marijuana. These startling numbers ring a profound alarm bell regarding the importance of educating our children to stay away from sweet traps. Radically eradicating the armed operational capabilities of criminal organizations is also a decisive strategic step to bring true peace to residential areas. Authorities have seized more than 1,500 firearms of various types and dozens of automated pill presses used for mass production. Stripping away the weapons and criminal tools of these merchants of death has directly contributed to minimizing violence and tragic shootings on the streets. Along with seizing physical evidence, the authorities conducted over 3,000 arrests nationwide, creating a massive shockwave that shook the entire underworld. Not only taking away the freedom of criminals, the campaign also struck straight at their financial lifeblood, as over $80 million, including both cash and illicit assets, were completely confiscated. Depleting the economic resources of criminals is precisely the most effective and longest-lasting deterrent measure. When we carefully compare it with Phase 1 that took place in October 2025, we can clearly see the remarkable progress and ever-increasing determination of the entire force. The number of lethal fentanyl pills seized impressively skyrocketed from 3.6 million up to 4.7 million pills in just a short amount of time. This outstanding increase demonstrates the high level of vigilance and excellent tactical effectiveness of the authorities, which are increasingly being enhanced. These relentless efforts bring a tremendously precious lesson on perseverance and courage that never backs down before the harshest difficulties and challenges. Eliminating the brutal threat from fentanyl and other addictive substances always remains the top and irreplaceable priority of the Drug Enforcement Administration. By dismantling complex criminal organizations, they are building a sturdy foundation for an incredibly bright and healthy future. The special agent in charge of the Field Division in the state of New Jersey had profoundly emotional and dedicated words to share that touched the very depths of the hearts of millions of watching citizens. She choked up emphasizing that honest families all across America are having to suffer massive, irreparable losses because of the ruthless greed of the gangs. These conscienceless individuals only care about stuffing their illicit money bags and are ready to trample upon the health and lives of thousands of their fellow human beings. The task force in this highly challenging area worked restlessly, pushing past all of their own limits to seize tens of thousands of toxic pills and dozens of dangerous firearms. Their ultimate goal is to stop the crime right at their fingertips before it has a chance to sow terror and agony for innocent people living peacefully. The successful arrest of dozens of notorious subjects during Phase 2 has brought a significantly fresher and more reassuring atmosphere for the entire residential community. In the Louisville area and the Chattanooga resident office, brave agents achieved an unprecedented resounding victory when they seized a large quantity of pure fentanyl along with industrial presses. This historic seizure directly prevented nearly 9 million potentially acutely fatal doses from ever reaching the community. It is incredibly relieving and gratefully reassuring to know that these supremely toxic doses will never have the chance to ruin the bright future of any teenager ever again. These silent yet magnificent victories are exactly the endless source of inspiration for each of us to live more responsibly towards ourselves, our families, and our beloved entire society. The volatile Baltimore area also recorded incredibly outstanding achievements with a large-scale law enforcement campaign leading to dozens of extremely important and pivotal arrests. Courageous authorities successfully confiscated multiple types of combined illicit substances, including cocaine, heroin, and even pure uncut fentanyl. The additional seizure of dozens of military-grade firearms and hundreds of thousands of dollars in blood-stained cash contributed extremely crucially to weakening the intricate root system of crime in this area. The extraordinary effort of the law protection agencies is exactly the brilliant lighthouse illuminating the people's faith in a fair, civilized society that upholds the rule of law. Every single street and street corner has now become much safer thanks to the drops of sweat and even the blood of the silent heroes. In your opinion, how closely do medical agencies, the education system, and local governments need to coordinate to jointly build a solid shield that helps the younger generation become deeply aware and stay away from these invisible traps? The situation of producing and consuming sophisticated counterfeit drugs is a deeply agonizing epidemic, demanding the close attention and decisive action of the entire society. In the Tucson City area of Arizona State, this proud campaign excellently seized nearly 600,000 fake fentanyl pills disguised in an extremely sophisticated way to deceive users. This massive achievement directly prevented hundreds of thousands of highly potential poisoning cases, protecting the priceless health of countless gullible citizens who blindly trust floating drugs on the internet. The extreme danger of these counterfeit pills lies in the fact that they bear the exact shape and color as regular therapeutic medicines, causing patients to easily fall into the deadly trap. The timely detection and prevention of this toxic wave by the authorities is a costly lesson on the importance of only buying medicine at reputable and clearly licensed medical facilities. Every citizen needs to equip themselves with solid knowledge to become wise consumers and know how to self-protect their own lives. The elite task force in the city that never sleeps, New York, is also not inferior to anywhere else, as they bravely eliminated tens of thousands of incredibly dangerous pills from circulating on the market. Using sharp professional measures, they resoundingly succeeded in arresting a major distributor who had a highly intimate and incredibly complex connection with the notorious gangs. By definitively severing the crucial links in the deadly supply chain, the authorities are step-by-step purifying the urban living environment. This arduous battle for survival does not only happen silently on dark streets, but also encompasses the legal pharmaceutical distribution sector to ensure that not a single small loophole gets exploited. The most profound example is the case of a large-scale pharmaceutical distributor in the state of Kentucky that had to bow its head and receive an immediate suspension order from the authorities. Serious violations and suspicious inconsistencies in complying with the Controlled Substances Act were all handled extremely strictly, and there are absolutely no restricted zones. Through these incredibly realistic and vivid stories, we can draw priceless lessons on the core importance of constantly raising awareness in every residential community. Every single citizen, from children to the elderly, needs to proactively equip themselves with the most essential knowledge to recognize early and effectively prevent hidden hazards from drugs of unknown origins. The continuous and high vigilance of every individual is exactly the most solid steel fortress to protect oneself and the entire beloved family. If you wish to continue spreading deep humanitarian values and raising health protection awareness for the whole society, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so we can always accompany each other on this meaningful journey. This campaign, deeply imbued with profound humanity, is absolutely not just a rigid law enforcement effort, but truly a life or death battle to protect families and the future young shoots of humanity. The steadfast perseverance and the commitment to realize a nation completely without the shadow of fentanyl is a colossal source of motivation propelling every action forward. Through actively sharing this useful and pure information, we are directly contributing to building a truly strong community overflowing with immense love. Education and prevention must always go strictly hand in hand with law enforcement measures to create a dual effect that is sustainable and long-lasting for the entire society. Parents, teachers, and influential figures in the community need to regularly organize open conversation sessions to educate teenagers about the catastrophic consequences of using addictive substances even just a single time. A young generation fully equipped with knowledge and life skills will be brave future masters who absolutely never succumb to frivolous temptations. Looking back at this entire journey, we realize that the courage of the special agents is invaluable to the peace of the nation. They have faced lurking dangers to bring peace of mind to every street, every house across all regions. Their silent sacrifices deserve to be honored and acknowledged by the whole society. Let's cherish the peaceful life we currently have and together preserve that peace forever. Finally, the message that the DEA wants to send is that unity and belief in a drug-free society is something completely feasible. Let every citizen be a soldier on the cultural and ideological front to collectively eliminate the bad and the evil from community life. A radiant future is waiting for us ahead where the dreams of youth are not extinguished by drugs. Let's act together for a better world for the future generation. The determination of the government along with the support of the people will be the key to opening the door leading to a healthily developing society. The battle against fentanyl may still be long and full of difficulties, but with perseverance we will definitely secure the ultimate victory. Always stay confident and accompany these efforts to protect life so that every passing day is a day full of joy. Wishing the journey to conquer the goals of the year 2026 brilliant success.